40 years ago, Fort Wayne was in another bind. The weather was inclement, snow came and melted, torrential rain came, the rivers rose, the levees were about to be breached, and the city was about to go under in disaster. The mayor took the initiative and led with strong leadership, engaging all the city's resources, engaging the help of the public, and Fort Wayne became the all-American city that saved itself. Now we're facing another crisis, and it's much more simple, and it's man-made. The garbage isn't being picked up. The mayor has taken almost no action for 4 years and is asking us to accept the status quo for another 6 months. I reject that this is acceptable, that this all-American city should patiently wallow in self-pity and its own garbage. Rather, I believe that this administration's finest hour could be right now, and that despite the bind we're in, we have the resources to again save ourselves. I'm calling for the mayor to take immediate action to stabilize the trash collection service that has devolved into chaos. Although city officials have expressed a desire to change service providers later in the year, no transition plan has been communicated, and it's been 40 days in this crisis. And garbage has continued to pile up throughout the city. So again, rather than just coming to you and listing the problems, I want to, again, along with Councilman Didier, come and list solutions. First of all, make an honest assessment of our capabilities. Conducting an honest assessment of the current trash collection capabilities of the contractor and the staff is very important. 2 weeks ago, the community was told by the mayor's attorney that by the end of the week, they would be caught up. 2 weeks later, they are at minimum 4 days behind, and this is before the snow, with many people waiting well over a week for service. Second, stop making excuses, make service adjustments. Likely that honest assessment will show the combined efforts of Red River and the city cannot pick up all the garbage and recycling on time. Rather than continuing to expect the broken system to work, it's necessary to temporarily cut back curbside recycling to monthly service and focus on picking up the garbage at this time. Just that modest change reduces the strain on the system by 60,000 lifts a month, 15,000 lifts a week. And I just believe it is absolute insanity to expect day after day, week after week, these great workers and our valiant service or city employees to go out and expect them to pick up the garbage and the recycling when they absolutely cannot get the full job done. The system is broken. It will not fix itself. Third, it's clearly time to reset the system. Before the snow, the full city was at least 4 days behind. Now we're at least 6 days behind. And the only thing the administration has said is that they're not going to pick up the garbage yesterday. They weren't going to pick up the garbage yesterday. So that leaves everybody in the city absolutely confused. Who puts out their garbage today? When's their garbage going to get picked up? Is it the people from 2 weeks ago? Is it the people from this week? Is it the people that are supposed to be picked up today? With a realistic and honest plan in place that is scaled to existing capabilities, the system should simply be reset with a reliable schedule. The schedule is presently so off, it is not a schedule at all. Fourth, put the full resources of the city to work. 311 is broken. It's no longer able to address the other needs of the community due to overwhelming trash calls. We know this. The mayor knows this. You know this. The citizens know this. Everybody knows this. Solid waste, in addition, cannot keep track of the aging misses. If they could, they would have. And for 4 years, we've been talking about why on earth is it that when somebody calls Councilman Didier and calls me, that solid waste is surprised when they say, oh, I've been calling for days, I've been calling for weeks. This happens every week, week after week. So rather than just letting this continue, we have 1,800 employees that the city employs. We have over 300 in the Division of Public Works, of which the solid waste department is a part of. Provide administrative assistance and staffing from other areas of public works or other departments to ease the load and service the residents. This is exactly what we did 40 years ago in a natural crisis, and I don't know why it's taking us 4 years to even begin to broach the subject in this man-made crisis. Fifth, ensure misses do not go past a week. With helping 311 and solid waste with additional resources, we need to ensure that at no point, especially because we control 7 vehicles entirely within our own, so we control the entire quality control process, that at no point does any resident go more than a week without their trash being picked up. Plain and simple, that's it, that's the goal, and there should not be any more excuses. There should not be anyone that ever calls Councilman Didier and me and says that I've been waiting for over a week. It's time to quit pretending and to be honest. The combined efforts of Red River and the city cannot pick up all the garbage and recycling. Tough decisions are needed to be made now, not later this year, not 6 months from now. Red River is not the only barrier to getting this garbage picked up. It is the city's leadership vacuum. No one but the mayor can fix this. It is not patience that this community needs. It is leadership. It is time to lead, Mr. Mayor. The city may be in a bind, but it has many actionable options remaining. And every solution that we presented today is within the mayor's purview. Continued chaos for the next 6 months can no longer be the plan. I know the mayor will try to disparage me and Councilman Didier personally, but we have put out a real transition plan here. We have put something out here. It is actionable. I'm happy to provide more details. I'm happy to provide even more action points. I've only given you the highlights of what I suggest we do. I'm willing to sit down and talk. If the mayor thinks our plan is silly, I challenge him to put one out of his own and to do so before the State of the City address. So by all means, consider the source, consider my credibility. I've been right on this issue for 3.5 years. I'm more than happy to go into that, but I know that we should not be in this position and we should not accept the garbage sitting around for days and weeks. This is still largely within our control. Another excuse, I'm sure, when you go and ask for the administration's response will be, my goodness, why are you criticizing Red River and our city employees and the city administration now? We just had 12 inches of snow. My goodness, it's an act of God. Give us a break. I wanted to have this press conference a couple of days ago. I had to put it back because of the snow. This didn't happen 2 days ago. This happened 4 years in the making. Red River was declared bankruptcy several months ago now, and it devolved into chaos 40 days ago. It was even 2.5 weeks ago that the administration admitted that they needed to get a new garbage provider. What have they done since then except oversee chaos? This is not about the snow. This is about what will transpire over the next 6 months. And so with that, I appreciate you allowing me to make this very lengthy statement. I know that this is not the language that you are accustomed to me hearing or saying, but it is but frankness is appropriate at this time. With that, I will turn it over to Councilman Didier.
So I'm just going to make a quick statement myself. What Russ is saying, communication is key here. We have to have open communication. We need honest answers from the mayor, including regular status and performance updates, continued information coming to Councilman Jehl and myself and all of the council people. The crisis will not work itself out, as Russ stated, and we cannot proceed without a policy change and a definite focus. And I agree with Russ, no one but the mayor can fix this. It really comes down to what the mayor is got planned for the overall aspects of this. It's exactly what Russ says. We're all running out of patience. I mean, I give you a quick synopsis. I had a phone call from somebody yesterday that says, Tom, I don't know what to do with my garbage. I said, I have 3 weeks of garbage in my garage. So you can imagine, again, I've reiterated this earlier in the press conference that we had just a couple weeks ago, that if this was July, we would have a really big issue on our hands. So it's really time for the mayor to step up and say what we're going to do and how we're going to plan this out. Because Russ and I are taking so many phone calls, and I'm doing so many instant messages, and I'm doing emails, and then you have to get back with the constituents, and we're blind. Russ and I are blind. We're like mice trying to find our way through this avenue of chaos that's going on right now. But it wears on us as council people. There's other things that we want to work on and fix in the neighborhoods, and it's kind of hard to even focus on anything because all anybody comes up to us and talks about is my garbage has not been picked up, my recycling hasn't been picked up. And it's come to the point where I like Russ's idea. Yeah, we need to go to a recycling program that's just once a month, and let's just get people's garbage picked up. Because normally most people clean out their recyclings, and you wouldn't have the issue with, the sanitation issues. The last thing I want to say, the city may be in a bind, but there's more actionable options we can choose. Continuing this chaos, as Russ said, for the next 6 months, it isn't going to work. We have to know what's going on because our constituents will call us and we don't know what to tell them. One last thing I want to say is Russ is right. The timing of this is tough because we got 12 inches of snow and all the public works people are out shoveling right now, which they should be. They're plowing the streets and they're getting ready to do the side streets and the arterials. So for us, Russ and I we applaud the city employees for what they've been doing over the course of the last 2 years, helping out in regards to picking up the trash. And they're doing what they need to do to help clean up the city and get the city moving back and the traffic flowing correctly and salting the streets and plowing the streets. That's what we want them to do. But we know that they've been a huge help in regards to the garbage. But what are we supposed to do? So again, I'm with Russ in this. We are to a critical stage right now that we have to get it fixed. And I'm behind Russ 100%. We just want to know what's going on. It really comes to that. We just need to know what's going on because the phone calls and the emails are so overwhelming that we can't fix the problem. And we don't know how to tell the constituents how to fix the problem because we ourselves don't know what the communication is from the fourth floor.